Hi, this is Steve Lampin here for BTX, talking about data cables. So what I thought I would do here today is talk about the different kinds of data cables there are and all the choices that you can have. Starting with Category 5. Well, in fact, there's no such thing as Category 5 anymore. This is Category 5E. That's where it starts now in the standards. They eliminated Category 5. You might find some old Category 5 around, but Category 5E is really where everything starts now. And then we go to Category 6. This is Category 6. This is a patch cable of Category 6. Then we go to Category 6A, 10 gig. Here's a patch cord of Category 6A, 10 gig. And here's some raw 6A cable, some install 6A cable. Now, what do these all mean? Well, what they're really talking about is specifications. So each of these cables has different specifications, and some are better than others. The 5E is the bottom of the line now. It used to be 5 was the bottom. Now 5E is the bottom. This has a bandwidth of 100 megahertz. Now that's only one of many specifications that are in data cables. So the point is, if you want something inexpensive, you're going to end up at 5E probably, but that's going to limit what you do. It's going to have only minimal specifications. If you go to Category 6, this is 250 megahertz, 2.5 times the bandwidth. And the other specifications that go along with it are also improved as well. But if you go to Category 6A, now this is currently the top of the line for everybody. This is 10 gig, 10 gigabits per second. And this is a bandwidth of 500 megahertz per pair. Now I will say, if I may brag a little, that when Belden produces these cables, they always produce something better than the standard. Like the Category 6A here, even though the standard is 500 megahertz, our cables go out to 625 megahertz, more than the standard. And we were the ones who invented 350 megahertz for Category 5E and Category 6. You see, 350 is everywhere. Well, we started that horrible thing. Yes, we're sorry for that. The point is, of course, our cables actually will do 350 megahertz. It's not just a question of will it go that speed, but what are the specifications at that speed? So here are the choices you have, and we're going into an area where there's going to be 40 gigahertz. That's coming up next, and 100 gigahertz after that. What is that going to look like? Oh, nobody really knows yet. 40 gig they're working on, 100 gig, that's in the future. But the whole point is, now these are the basic cables. Within all of these, there are all sorts of choices you can have. For instance, here I have a Category 5E cable that is super rugged. And it contains within it the 4 pairs that you would expect, but it has 2 jackets around it. This is called Tactical 5E. You could run over this with a forklift, or you could tie this in a knot and it will still pass Category 5E. So if you're doing something like theatrical Ethernet, or Ethernet on the road, or something that requires extra ruggedness, you might be interested in this cable. By the way, this is Belden 1305A is the part number here. Double jacketed. We also make a single jacketed one, 1304A, but it's not quite as rugged. So 1305A might be the perfect solution if you're doing theatrical lighting Ethernet or something that needs extra ruggedness. We also make things like water-blocked versions of these. If you're going to bury these in the ground or go underwater with them, we have water-blocked versions of these. We even have versions like this one is super timed cable. This is called Video Twist. It's an Ethernet cable, but it has 4 pairs, and the delivery time on this is so perfect because this is intended to run analog video, RGB sync down a video cable. You notice there are lots of devices out there that are using RGB. Well, it uses data cable as the delivery mechanism, and boy, this would be the perfect choice for that. And in fact, talking about non-data applications for Ethernet, all of these cables could be used for things like audio. You can run audio down these pairs. Sure you could. These are the world's greatest pairs. These are better pairs than any audio pairs that have ever been made. So the only problem with a cable like this is it has 4 pairs in it. What if you need 1 pair? Well, we brought out 1 pair Ethernet. Here it is. 1 pair data cable for your audio needs. This will do analog or digital audio. It's a bonded pair, so it's the lowest noise we can do in a paired cable. The only thing that scares you is no shield. There's unshielded here. That's not a problem if all you're running is just straight audio, because the audio runs on the twisted pair, the balanced line, which is here. The only thing this won't do is something like phantom powering for microphones, which requires a ground to deliver the power. Other than that, any other kind of audio, This actually has the best audio specifications of any cable we've ever made, and is also the quietest and lowest noise. So the whole point is, all these category cables here have many other uses besides just Ethernet. You need to explore those.